African communities in this country. I want to let you know that it's available to watch on Vimeo. It's called Whose Children Are These? It's about 28 minutes, and it gives you a real sense of what happens to the people left behind as well. In particular, Nabila's family after her father got deported. So really quickly, just to finish up, in terms of the impact of this program, clearly we talked about the fact that it was a program that profiled communities, right, on the basis of nationality and faith and immigration status, that it was unconstitutional in many ways. It violated due process rights, it violated the Equal Protection Clause, and yet it was held up time and again, even in court. We know that 83,000 men actually complied with this particular policy, and 13,000 of them were put into removal proceedings. It had a huge impact on small business owners, in particular working class communities and people like Nabila's father, who owned a store in Queens. It also had an impact on women who were left behind. So Nabila's mother immediately became the breadwinner of the family. Nabila herself had to forget about some of those dreams that she had in terms of her education and professional achievements and start to take care of her family and her two younger brothers. And it changed immigrant neighborhoods considerably. Darshan often talks about this too, where you saw neighborhoods like Coney Island Avenue in Brooklyn and parts of Queens in particular that looked radically different after special registration had actually been implemented, because businesses had to shut down. The vibrancy of those neighborhoods completely changed as well. And then at the same time, the government did a lot more. It collected a lot of data about these communities. You saw the questions that were asked. Really did not have anything to do with immigration status, much more about where you prayed and when you visited particular countries. And at the end of the day, no terrorist-related convictions at all from the federal government. But you had this impact nonetheless, the bullet points above. So what NSEER spawned, and I think Maha is going to talk about this a little bit more, but after NSEERs, we had all of this: watch lists, Get More North, mass surveillance, CVE programs, neighborhood mapping, negative legal precedent. So we had all of this happen because of the fact that NSEERs occurred, and there was not a way to push back enough to get rid of the program. What advocates were able to do, actually, was that we were able to get the government to delist the countries in 2011. So after years of advocacy at the national level and at the local level with the Department of Homeland Security, where we said, please end the program and take it off the books, because this is what it did, and you had absolutely no national security justification for doing it or a reason at the end of the day, the government decided to do a half-ass job. And they removed the designated countries from the NSEER's list, but they left the framework on the books. And so if you've been hearing about what a lot of people are doing right now, it's to actually get rid of the framework that exists so that we don't have a precedent for a new Muslim registry to be put into place in this country. So you may have heard that last week there was a rally that was organized by MoveOn.org and Basics Rising Up and Moving, a community-based organization in New York City, here in DC, to ask President Obama to actually rescind the framework that still holds up NSEERs, to just get rid of it off the books before he leaves. They delivered over 300,000 signatures on a petition. There's also a lot of direct national advocacy happening with the Department of Homeland Security, because this isn't just something that we can wait and see about, right? This is likely going to happen, and we can't pretend that it might not. We know that the president-elect has already been talking about a Muslim registry, about extreme vetting of people from particular countries. We know that he has been meeting with Chris Kovach, who's actually the person who was the architect of NSEERs and special registration in the first place. So this is not something that is a possibility. It could be a reality for our communities. And so that is why I think it's so important that this particular teach-in has been organized by Rama and Noor and Maha and Darshan, because this is a picture from a recent rally that Drum organized in Queens. We can't actually do or not do what happened, 15 years ago. At this point, we're in a much different place. We have people that are mobilized. The media is actually paying attention. We have organizational infrastructure. We have allies who are ready, like many of you sitting in this room, to say not on our watch. And so we have to be able to protect our community members in some shape or form so that the impact of special registration will not recur and we do not revisit it. So with that, I want to thank you for your attention, and I will turn it over to Malcolm, actually. Yeah?